477 gun-related deaths recorded in the Western Cape between April and June. 166 gang-related murders over the same period. 85% of gang-related murders in South Africa happen in the Western Cape. On Friday, we spoke about the wave of gang violence in the Manenberg area, not just over the past few days, but over the last few weeks, months, years. And we received a number of comments on Friday questioning what exactly law enforcement and the South African Police Service is actually doing to combat gang activity on the Cape Flats. Yesterday in Hanover Park, People Against Gangsterism and Drugs, they held a rally in Hanover Park, in fact, going to the home of a suspected drug dealer, and on camera and live on social media got him to relinquish any connection with the drug and gang industry. There have been a number of videos going around, particularly on TikTok doing the rounds, showing visuals of PAGAD approaching gangsters and dealers' hideouts, calling them out for their crimes. Abdus Salaam Ebrahim, the leader of PAGAD, joins me now on the line. To my first question, you'd argue, well, PAGAD didn't actually go anywhere, but I ask you, is PAGAD mobilizing again? Abdus Salaam Ebrahim, good morning.
Good morning to you and to your listeners. Firstly, I want just to put the record straight that PAGAD wasn't in Hanover Park. PAGAD doesn't have negotiations and dealings with drug dealers and call for peace talk with drug dealers and gangsters. Because this is the very people that is destroying our community, and to have peace talks with these people is foolish, because it is not the shooting only that's the problem. The drug trade is the problem. And because of the drug trade, we have gangs and drug dealers and henchmen shooting one another for the drug turf.
I didn't say you had peace talks. I said you confronted an alleged drug dealer yesterday.
We do confront, but it wasn't us, because if you understand that whole thing of Hanover Park yesterday, it was also a peace talk between gangs and drug dealers. And we don't bring gangs and drug dealers together, because we know for a fact for the last 30, 40 years, it's not going to work. It never works. SAPS will tell you, the government will tell you, religious leaders will tell you, but people still pursue this issue of peace talks between drug dealers and gangsters.
But you have been mobilizing again over the last few months.
Yes, we've been mobilizing, not only in Cape Town. We've been mobilizing in Katlong, in Johannesburg, and in Eastern Cape, all over the country. We've been busy mobilizing, because we need a united front against the scourge of gangsterism and drugs. And what is very important to know, that it is not the peace talks, it is not this that's going to change, because if we understand what the drug trade does to our people, our children, is an actual fact, goes into the shop, they do shoplifting, they break in, housebreaking, they murder people, they assault people, fathers rape their own children, brothers raping their own sisters, because they're not sane because of drugs. So we need to understand this whole phenomenon, what's happening in our society. Mothers is crying, the drug dealers and gangsters is taking the wealth out of our societies. And then they sit with the wealth, and people is starving. There's not food in their homes, because the children is taking even the food out of their homes and sells it. And we need to say it very clearly that government is not doing enough. Government is not doing anything at all, if we look at it seriously, because of the corruption of not all the police. We have to be fair. But most of the police, more than 50% of our police force, is taking money. And the other sad thing, we said it before, our places of worship is even not asking where this money comes from. If it's a synagogue, the churches, or the mosque, those people take these blood money, and it's creating havoc in our society.
Abdus Salaam, PAGAD has been criticized in the past for using paramilitary tactics, violence as a tactic. You've spent time behind bars. If we're calling for peace and non-violent tactics, I want to know if you're willing to state whether you're back in the fold of using violence as a tactic to confront gangsters, alleged gangsters and alleged drug dealers.
Gang and drug dealers, gangsters and drug dealers, use violence to destroy the society. We are saying that to push back, the necessary force is necessary. But we can even go on a secondary look at this and say if all the communities in this country unite, black and white, rich and poor, wherever you come from, if we unite and we are concerned about our country, then we may look at the amount of pressure we can put on these gangsters and drug dealers to make them stop. If we bring thousands and thousands of people to the street, and I believe that it is everyone's concern. If you stay in another area, don't think you are safe.
So if you're not discounting violence, you're calling for vigilantism. Is that correct?
No, we never call for vigilantism. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying if a drug dealer and gangster use violence on the community, they have the right to self-defense because the police is not defending them. This is what we're saying. How do the communities protect themselves if the police and the government is not protecting themselves? We've seen the taxi strike. Metro have used the necessary force to enforce the law. We are asking that the government must enforce the law. If the government enforce the law, there's not even a need for any group like PAGAD because the people will be protected by the government and the police and the army in this country.
Abdus Salaam Ebrahim, leader of PAGAD.